Hi everyone, welcome to the Knacklers workshop, and today's new machine day. So let's see if we can zoom in on what we've bought. So what we got is a very small capstan lathe. So let me walk you over there and let you have a look. Okay. So here she is. It's Timbrill and Wright. So this is an old British make made in Birmingham. Looking at, sorry, I didn't do too well there on the film. Let's lift the lever up so we can see things a bit better. So there we go. So made, I think, from what I can see from lathes.co.uk, it does seem to be from around the 40s, so just before the I think it was just before the Second World War. So it's on the original cast iron stand. If we go around into the back, we can see someone's obviously adapted it sometime during its life to run with all the motor and such like. This is quite a good setup here, because it's got gravities holding it, so that's it's not actually secured. You've got some slots here, and all it does is the weight of the motor put tensions the belt. So that's quite a nice little setup. So we've got effectively a clutch, which is quite clever. We've got from the tray, this is so you can have coolant, and you've got a drip to come the other side. So that was quite good. So at least everything is self-contained. I don't know what, I've never ever used a capstan lathe, so it's very, excuse me for the lack of terminology. So let's just, lack of correct terminology. So we very simply just move the lever and away she goes. We've got 6 heads, and the tools fit in there. And then if I take one out, what we've got is, so I'll show you all the tools on the workbench in a minute, or the tooling that came with it. So that's pretty cool. For some reason, I have taken all these out to give them a bit of a clean. This one doesn't want to go in, but it seems to be a problem with the hole, not because I can take another one out and swap it over. So the physical, this is not the problem, it's the hole, because this will fit in there. So another little thing to investigate. And then for other operations, you can just move in and out here. So this is run, it's got collets. Now what was really unfortunate, because I was desperately trying not to buy a fixer-upper, because I've got too many of those in the workshop already. So we lost a bit of, something snapped off during the disassembly process at the chap I purchased it from's workshop. So this effectively goes over here, and what that does, oh sorry, got some noise there in the workshop. That, if I can move it by hand, that's what releases the collet. So what I need to do is do some work to fit that back on. So we won't be running it today, because I'd rather have that going properly. Yeah, so that's basically a very small capstan lathe. So it all runs, and you could use it with the collet system like that, but I'd rather get it fixed. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it. Now You've got a lot of adjustment here for the various stops, so you can set how far you want to go in, say for drilling, or so that's quite clever. You've also got stops here you can set, so again your movement here you can adjust, so that's again pretty good. The big question really is what I'm going to use it for, and I don't have a clue. That's I saw this for sale just before Christmas. It didn't sell, and as lovely as it is, it does have limited use in the modern world, I would say, to suggest. Yeah, so and really the money they wanted, I couldn't really justify it for no real need. But I did sort of fall in love with the idea. Sorry about the noise, they're working next door. But then at the price, it reappeared in January, and the price was a bit reduced. I nearly bought it, chose not to, because again it was still probably a bit too high. And then the following week it was at a super bargain price, so I thought I couldn't turn it down. Yeah, so that's really the main machine. It's pretty cool really, and yeah, I am very pleased to have it, and I think it may well be of use on the 𝐒𝐄𝐑𝗥𝗦𝗛𝗢𝗥 project, because I can make all the screws and such like with it. So I think it won't be a loss, a lost cause really. And to be truthful, with the price I paid for it, I think I probably could get my money back. So let's have a look at it. Look, come over to the workbench, have a look at some of the stuff we've got here, some of the tooling. So what we've got is these are all various ones for us to fit into the main capstan bit, the bit that rotates. Again, apologies for not using the correct terminology. And some of these are pretty good. It was interesting. I can remember watching Joe Pye doing some work. But what we've got here is, can't find the camera. What we've got here is, you can see you've got here the support, so the material doesn't move, and then you can actually cut it. And I remember Joe, on one of his models, he was struggling to, well, not struggling, but he had to come up with some ideas to try and stop the material moving whilst it was turning, or whilst he was turning it, because it was quite a small diameter. So that's again another little thing, so that will fit into the capstan. So that's cool. Not sure where that would fit, but I guess I'll work it out sometime, and I'm not terribly sure what that one is. Just some various other bits. Another one of these sort of guide things. That seems to be drilling and turning. So yeah, so a lot of these are pretty good. I think there's an opportunity to make more. It's quite easy to make a holder. If we look at these, let me just put these here. So these are for different size holes, different size drills. So I would think as you get to use it more, I mean, I think you could. Sorry, what I'm trying to say is you could spend a day turning up 20 of these. You can probably make them out of bits of scrap, something, with various diameters to fit various drills, and then you're going to be in a good situation for anything coming forward. So I think there's an opportunity to increase the tooling, which would be pretty nice. So I feel even if I don't end up having a massive use for it, what I do have is I'm quite keen to sort of overwhelm it with tools, if that's makes sense. Really, just concentrate on trying to make tooling for every occasion, and that'd just be quite a fun project. And then whoever it moves on to at some time, they'll be all geared up to be able to use it to its maximum. So yeah, it's just an indulgence really. It came with 9 collets. Now I'd meant to measure these before I start making the video. And what I'll do is I will measure it once I've stopped talking and just put a little clip with the dimensions on. Now these are all, there's no duplicates, so I'm quite keen. I've googled the brand, the Timbrill Wright brand, but I can't find any collets or anything like that. So if I do the measurements and then I'll insert that shortly, and then if anyone knows what they are, or then please add it to the comments, because then I can search for them and hopefully increase that. I mean, I think I could make some. The only thing I don't really have is any form of heat treating oven, and I would like. It is on my shopping list, but I haven't really progressed things that far yet. And just a few more bits of tooling, just HSS stuff that came with it. So again, that's always handy. Now, one of the problems with it, where it's situated in the workshop, is that it's pretty, compared with, if we look around here, you know, we've got the 𝗲𝗡𝗔𝗡𝗥, we've got the BCA, we've got the little sensitive drilling machine, and then we've got the what's it called, the 𝗪𝗪𝗡𝗜𝗄. This is all very much on the light side of the workshop, so natural light makes it fantastic. So this is we don't have a lot of light over here, so one of the things I'm looking to do, I don't really want to mess up the casting too much, but we got a, I don't know if you can see, I've got a hole here, and I think I can make a bracket there, and then from a machine I bought quite a while ago, I've got an old lamp, so I've just sort of started taking this apart and going to try and clean it out, give it a bit of coat of 𝗪𝗧𝗜𝗏, as everything seems to get covered in 𝗪𝗧𝗏 paint in this workshop. And then so the idea is to have the lamp at this end of the lathe, so that it's pointing down onto the you know, the working area. So hopefully that will overcome this, you know, the lack of light here. I have considered adding some LEDs. I know Ralphie over at Wright Capstan, he's just put some LEDs in, and they looked quite effective. So I might I'm not, well, that may be an additional idea. I'm not 100%. I mean, I could try and squeeze it in this sort of gap here, but it's all becoming a bit you know, a bit busy over here, and when you're working, I don't really want to be tripping over myself. I could move the Unimat sits there on the blue bench, so I could arguably put it sort of here, but again, when you get into all the change gears and everything on the 𝗲𝗡𝗔𝗡𝗥, you don't really want to be moving machines. So, and if you've got anything long sticking out, not that I generally do, but you just, yeah, I'm unsure whether that's really a good approach. So anyway, let's see. Let's put this with the junk back. That's the new machine. So as you know from the Hotchpotch last week, the big priority is at the moment, the focus is quite firmly on getting the shaping machine moved forward quite a lot. But I think I will just take a day or two out just to fix that lever, and then I've got another functioning machine. You know, and that would be quite nice to have it all ready to rock and roll whenever I need it. Anyway, so yeah, that's the machine. If anyone knows anything about them, or maybe you even owned it, I don't know really. It's just a lovely old bit of kit, and I'm really pleased to have it in the workshop. So as always, many thanks for watching. Stay happy, strong and healthy, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheerio.